Chapter 7, Controlling Time, Speed Ramps and Freeze Frames. Section 7.1, Time Stretching, Slowing Down and Speeding Up Footage. Section 7.2, Time Remapping, Customizing Variable Speed Changes. Section 7.3, Frame Blending and Pixel Motion, Smoothing Out Slow Motion. Section 7.4, Freezing Action, Creating Static Moments from Video Clips. In Chapter 6, we explored visual alchemy, adding effects and color to create mood. We made things glow, distort, and shine. Now, we are going to control the fourth dimension of your composition, time itself. As a video editor or motion designer, you are a time traveler. You have the power to stretch a fleeting second into a dramatic minute or condense an hour-long process into a snappy 10-second montage. Controlling time is not just about making a clip fit a gap, it is about directing the viewer's attention. Think of an action movie. The hero jumps off a building. In reality, that takes 2 seconds. In the movie, time slows down mid-air so you can see the determination on their face, then snaps back to real time for the landing. That creates impact. In this chapter, we will master the tools that allow you to bend time. We will cover basic stretching, advanced speed ramps, the technology needed to make slow motion look smooth, and how to freeze a moment entirely. 7.1 Time Stretching, Slowing Down and Speeding Up Footage. The simplest way to alter the speed of a clip is time stretching. This creates a uniform speed change across the entire layer. It is perfect when you simply need a clip to play twice as fast or last twice as long without any fancy variations. This is often the go-to method for background textures or looping animations that are moving just a bit too frantically for your scene. By slowing them down uniformly, you can make a chaotic background feel elegant. To access this, you don't need to dive into complex menus. It is right there in the layer options. Applying a time stretch. Select the layer you want to adjust in your timeline. Go to the top menu bar, select Layer Time Stretch. A dialog box will appear showing the stretch factor. Figure, a high-resolution screenshot of the Adobe After Effects Time Stretch dialog box overlaid on the interface. The dialog is centered, highlighting the stretch factor input field currently set to 100%. A cursor is hovering over the new duration field. The background shows a blurred timeline with a selected video layer. Lighting is clean and technical, emphasizing the UI elements. Here is where the math works differently than you might expect. In the stretch factor box, *100% is normal speed. *200% makes the clip twice as long, slower. *50% makes the clip half as long, faster. Think of stretch as physical film tape. If you stretch the tape to be 200% of its original length, it takes longer to play through, resulting in slow motion. If you compress it to 50%, it plays through quickly. Type in your desired percentage and click OK. You will see the layer bar in the timeline physically expand or contract based on your input. 7.2 Time Remapping, Customizing Variable Speed Changes. Time stretching is great, but it is a blunt instrument. What if you want that matrixed effect? The one where a punch starts fast, slows down to a crawl at the point of impact, and then speeds up again. That is called a speed ramp. To achieve this, we use time remapping. Unlike time stretch, this allows us to use keyframes to tell After Effects exactly which frame of video should play at what specific time. This feature unlocks complete creative freedom. You can even make footage play in reverse, then forward again, just by manipulating keyframes. Enabling time remapping. Right-click your video layer in the timeline. Select Time Enable Time Remapping. You will see 2 keyframes appear, one at the start of the layer and one at the end. Figure, a close-up screenshot of the After Effects timeline panel. A video layer named action_clip.mp4 is expanded to show the time remapping property. 2 diamond-shaped keyframes are visible, one at the very beginning, midnight, and one at the end of the clip layer. The property value reads in timecode format. The interface style is dark mode, typical of Creative Cloud apps. When time remapping is active, the length of the layer becomes infinite. If you drag the end of the layer out, the video will freeze on the last frame because the last keyframe marks the end of the footage. Creating a speed ramp. To create a speed ramp, fast-slow-fast, follow this workflow. Move your playhead to where the action, like a jump, begins. Create a keyframe on the time remapping property. Move the playhead to where the action ends, the landing. Create another keyframe. Now, drag these two inner keyframes further apart on the timeline. By increasing the distance between these keyframes, you are telling After Effects, take this small section of video and make it take longer to play. That equals slow motion. Smoothing the ramp with the graph editor. If you just move keyframes, the speed change will be abrupt, a hard cut from fast to slow. To make it cinematic, we need curves. Select the time remapping property. Click the graph editor icon, the squiggly line button, at the top of the timeline. Ensure you are viewing the edit speed graph, right-click the graph to check. You will see a line representing speed. Drag the Bezier handles to create a U shape or a smooth curve. Figure, a detailed diagram of the After Effects graph editor specifically showing a speed graph curve for time remapping. The curve starts high, fast, dips low into a valley, slow motion, and rises back up, fast. Yellow Bezier handles are being manipulated to smooth the transition. The background grid represents frame rates per second, annotations point to ease in and ease out points. This visual representation is powerful. The higher the graph line, the faster the video plays. The closer the line gets to 0, the closer the video is to freezing. 7.3 frame blending and pixel motion, smoothing out slow motion. Here is a reality check. If you shoot video at 30 frames per second, FPS, and you slow it down to 50% speed, you are effectively asking After Effects to play 15 frames per second. The result? The video will look like a slideshow. It will stutter and look choppy because there simply aren't enough frames to fill the time. You can't create data that wasn't captured by the camera, or can you? After Effects has two magical switches called frame blending that can fake smooth slow motion. The 3 states of frame blending. You toggle frame blending by clicking the film strip icon box next to your layer in the timeline switch column. It cycles through 3 states. Off, no icon standard playback. If you slow footage down, it duplicates frames. This looks choppy. Frame mix, jagged film icon. This creates a ghosting effect. It dissolves the previous frame into the next one to fill the gap. It is smooth but can look blurry. Pixel motion, smooth arrow icon. This is the advanced method. After Effects analyzes the movement of pixels and generates brand new frames that never existed. Figure, a split-screen comparison visual. On the left, a zoomed-in section of a video frame showing frame mix ghosting, double exposure look. On the right, the same frame using pixel motion showing a clean, generated image. In the center, the After Effects timeline toggle switch is shown, highlighting the specific icon for pixel motion, a film strip with a swooping arrow, dot. When to use which? Frame mix renders fast. Use it for simple motion or background blurs where clarity isn't critical. Pixel motion, often called optical float in other software, looks incredible but is computationally heavy. Be careful, if your footage has too much motion blur or chaotic movement, pixel motion can create warping artifacts where the computer guesses wrong. Pro tip, always enable the Enable Frame Blending Master switch at the top of your timeline panel to see the results. If you don't click the master switch, the layer switches won't do anything. 7 point for freezing action, creating static moments from video clips. Sometimes the most powerful motion is no motion at all. You might want to freeze a video on a specific frame to overlay text, introduce a character, or emphasize a funny reaction. Freezing is essentially extreme time stretching, stretching one single frame to infinity. The quick freeze method. If you want to turn a whole layer into a still image based on the current time, move your playhead to the exact frame you want to keep. Right-click the layer. Select Time Freeze Frame. The entire layer is now a still image of that specific moment. You can drag the ends of the clip to make it last as long as you need. Figure, a screenshot of the After Effects context menu, right-click menu, opened over a video layer. The mouse cursor is hovering over the time submenu, which is expanded to show freeze frame highlighted in blue. The background shows a video frame of a skateboarder mid-air, indicating the moment being frozen. The freeze on last frame trick. A common editing technique is to have a video play out and then freeze on the final shot while the credits roll or a logo appears. Right-click the layer. Select Time Freeze on last frame. This automatically adds time remapping and sets a hold keyframe at the very end. The video plays normally until the last frame, then holds that image forever. It is a massive time saver for outros and end cards. Summary. You have now taken control of the timeline. We started by stretching time uniformly to fit our needs, then graduated to time remapping for dynamic speed ramps. We learned how to smooth out that slow motion using pixel motion and how to stop time entirely with freeze frames. These tools are not just technical utilities, they are storytelling devices. A speed ramp can add energy to a dull clip. A freeze frame can add humor or emphasis. In the next chapter, we are going to look at something often neglected by visual artists but crucial for a complete experience: audio. We will learn how to visualize sound and sync our motion to the beat. Figure Mind Map Chapter 7, Controlling Time, Root, Controlling Time, Branch, Time Stretching, Node, Uniform Speed Change, Node, Layer of Time Time Stretch, Node, Percentage Math, 200% equals slower, 50% equals faster, Branch, Time Remapping, Node, Variable Speed, Node, Keyframes for Time, Node, Speed Ramps, Fast Slow Fast, Node, Graph Editor is essential, Branch, Frame Blending, Node, Fixing Choppy Slow-Mo, Node, Frame Mix, Ghosting a Blur, Node, Pixel Motion, AI Generation Optical Flow. Branch, Freeze Frames, Node, Static Moments, Node, Right-Click Freeze Frame, Node, Freeze on Last Frame for outros.